Hi, welcome to our channel. For this video, we will be learning about the sixth limit theorem, which is also called as the limit of the product of two functions. This theorem states that the limit of the product of two functions is the product of the limits of the individual functions. In symbols, if the limit of f of x as x approaches c equals L and the limit of g of x as x approaches c equals m, then the limit of f of x multiplied to g of x as x approaches c is equal to the product of their limits, which are L and m, so L multiplied to m. To understand this theorem better, let us have examples. For example 1, we have the limit of x times quantity 5x plus 3 as x approaches 8. Our first step is to identify our individual functions, so we have here x as our f of x, while 5x plus 3 as our g of x. Now, we will write x and 5x plus 3 as individual limits. So now we have the limit of x as x approaches 8 multiplied to the limit of 5x plus 3 as x approaches 8. We will now have to solve the individual limits. The limit of x as x approaches 8 is a limit of an identity function, and as we know, the limit of an identity function is the value of x, so the limit of x as x approaches 8 is just equal to 8. On the other hand, the limit of 5x plus 3 as x approaches 8 is a limit of a linear function, so we can just substitute 8 to the value of x, so we will have 5 multiplied to 8, which is 40 plus 3, so we will have 43. And now, we will multiply 8 to 43 and the product will be 344. Therefore, the limit of x times 5x plus 3 as x approaches 8 is equal to 344. And now, we have answered our first example. Now, let us proceed to our second example. Our second example is the limit of 2 multiplied to 6x plus 5 as x approaches 4. To answer this, we will just follow the steps we did in solving our example number 1. We will first identify our individual functions, so we have here 2 as our f of x, while 6x plus 5 as our g of x. Then, we will write 2 and 6x plus 5 as individual limits. So now we have the limit of 2 as x approaches 4 multiplied to the limit of 6x plus 5 as x approaches 4. We will now solve the individual limits. The limit of 2 as x approaches 4 is a limit of a constant, and as we know, the limit of a constant is itself, so the limit of 2 as x approaches 4 is equal to 2. On the other hand, the limit of 6x plus 5 as x approaches 4 is a limit of a linear function, so we can just substitute 4 to the value of x. Therefore, we will multiply 4 to 6, which will give us a result of 24. Then we add 5, so it becomes 29, and then we multiply it to 2, and we get 58. Therefore, the limit of 2 multiplied to 6x plus 5 as x approaches 4 is 58. And that is it for our second and final example. That concludes our discussion. We hope you have understood the lesson and have learned something from it. Keep on learning, for learning does not have limits. Thank you for watching and see you again in our future videos.